Hello, I'm Russ Ray, here with Texas State University President Denise Trauth. Dr. Trauth, thank you for talking with us today.
Well, thank you. My pleasure.
Now, a safety message was sent to campus informing students about a demonstration that might be happening on Tuesday morning. Can you tell us about what prompted that message?
Certainly. We posted that message out of an abundance of caution because safety is so important to us, for our students, for our faculty, and our staff. It's possible that a demonstration will take place tomorrow, and we want people to know that if it does, there are certain things they can do to make sure that they are very safe.
Dr. Trauth, what have you learned in terms of who these protesters are and what they want?
Well, you should understand that we're getting the information about a possible protest primarily through social media and also through some posters. So we really haven't had anything official come through. So I can't say for sure that there is going to be a protest on campus. But typically these are groups that are not affiliated with the university. Typically they want to disrupt university activities and perhaps get some media attention in the bargain.
Dr. Trauth, this is obviously concerning when you hear about things like this. If this group, these demonstrators, aren't even affiliated with the university, why allow them on campus?
Well, that's a good question, and it's one I get asked all the time. Texas State University is a public university, and as such, the outdoors on our campus is considered a public space, and therefore people, whether they're affiliated with the university or not, have a legal right to express themselves, and that's protected by the First Amendment. Now, if they wanted to come indoors, that's not considered a public space, and that would be a different situation.
Now, if students try to suppress free speech with either counter, protest, or even confrontation, what would you say to those students?
I would say to those students that a university is a place where there ought to be vigorous debate, where ideas should clash. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's part of a university education. But having said that, I would say we don't have to be disagreeable and confrontational about it. We should be able to disagree without being disagreeable. Now, I want to make another point here, and I don't want to be misunderstood. Texas State University is no place for hate speech. We absolutely and categorically do not condone hate speech.
What steps have you taken to keep the campus safe?
Well, from the moment that our University Police Department, UPD, got word that this might take place tomorrow, they have been on it. They've been researching it. They've talked to other universities that have dealt with this protest. We've also engaged with other law enforcement in the greater Austin area. Again, law enforcement that has dealt with this particular group and with this sort of thing. We've also sent a message to our students asking them that if they do encounter a protest, to walk the other way. Our primary message is do not engage. And some of our student organizations are putting out the same message, do not engage.
Dr. Trauth, the student government voted recently, well, they attempted to ban a group from campus. That created a lot of attention. Was that action attempted by student government the reason that all this is happening now?
Well, the student government vote had no consequence. The student government does not have the power to ban a student organization from campus. I don't really think that this potential protest has anything to do with the student government vote.
What are you hearing from students on all this?
Texas State University has almost 39,000 students, and about 8,500 of them live on campus. I live on campus. I walk the campus all the time. I interact with students every single day. I can tell you that the vast majority of 39,000 students are getting ready for exams that start in 2 weeks. They're looking forward to internships this summer. They're graduating. We'll graduate 8,000 students in 3 weeks who are going to go out and get wonderful jobs. The vast majority of our students aren't paying any attention to this.
Why do you think that Texas State is so often the target of demonstrations like this?
Texas State isn't unique in having protests. There were over 300 protests at American universities last year. They happen all the time. But I should point out that Texas State is very diverse. Our demographics more closely represent the demographics of Texas than any other state university. We have students from practically every county in Texas. We have students from across the whole political spectrum, the whole economic spectrum. We're just a very diverse place.
You know, an active narrative recently in the news has been that university campuses are this bastion of liberal ideas, oftenly pushing back on alternative points of view and even uninviting controversial speakers. Is that the case at Texas State?
Absolutely not. If I look back over the last 12 months, I could tick off a whole number of speakers who represent the whole political spectrum that have been invited to campus, that have spoken on campus, and we've not had any incidents. I mean, I really think this shows that we are committed to freedom of expression at Texas State. Our students come from across the whole political spectrum, and in fact, our faculty comes from across the whole political spectrum.
With regards to what might happen on Tuesday, what is the message that you want people to hear most?
Well, I would say to demonstrators who are not our students that we allow them on our campus, but Texas State University is no place for hate speech. And to our students, I would say, do not engage. If you see people who are representing something that is contrary to our core values, do not engage. Go the other way.
Dr. Trauth, thank you again for talking to us about this.
Thank you.